Globally, depression is one of the leading causes of disability and is also a major contributor of the global burden of disease. Recent estimates from the WHO show that over 300 million people around the world are depressed. Kenya has been ranked 5th among African countries with the highest number of depression cases after South Africa, which has 2.4 million cases, Democratic Republic of Congo, 2.9 million cases, Ethiopia 4.5 million cases, Nigeria 7.1 million cases. Stigmatization of mental illness in Kenya is a common problem, so much so that the original name of a tertiary mental hospital in the country, Mathare Mental Hospital, has been changed and dropped the word mental so that it's only Mathare Hospital because many people were shunning it. Poverty and unemployment are among the leading causes of depression for the population. There is also an emerging trend of depression among the youth, especially those within the education system. This was significantly associated with the year of study, economic deprivation, and academic performance, among others. In terms of coping strategies to persistent depression, drug or substance abuse, especially alcohol, is common in the Kenyan context. Can we go now to the level, walked to the level now of psychotism?
Yes.
Now you're actually psychotic because you've gone from level to level to level.
And so basically, you know, mental health begins in a subtle manner, depending on the circumstances and situation. It could be stress that begins to build up.
Right.
And when it builds up, it can also get to anxiety. Then, you know, you get anxiety phobias.
Right.
And you are in an unrest as a result of the anxiety. Frustration.
Right.
Generally, people come and say, I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
All right? I'm feeling overwhelmed. So you need to unpack what the word overwhelmed means. All right? And so after that, then you get into the depression, depending, is it a seasonal depression as a result of, you know, just something that happens? Or then if
sometimes you can go through something that happened
Yeah.
that takes you through depression, but it doesn't mean that you're now in a state of, you need medical
No, it's
attention.
a seasonal
It's
depression.
a seasonal depression.
It's as a result
Yeah.
of a relationship breakdown, a loss of a job,
Right.
a loss of a significant other, death. We are experiencing a lot of loss and grief as a result of the death.
Yeah.
All those can cause you that seasonal depression.
Right.
Nothing to worry about, but it needs to be addressed. You need to have debrief. You need to talk about it so that it leaves your mind, all right? So that it stops being racing thoughts.
Because the more it takes root,
Yes.
the deeper it goes,
Yes.
the worse it gets.
Yes.
So you need to talk about it.
And when it gets to that worse, then that's where it invites the next level of psychosis.
Yes.
And when it does get to psychosis, then it requires now psychiatry support, and you need to be institutionalized. You need to get to the hospital so that you can then be given the medicine depending on the levels, all right?
Right.
You can be treated when you are still at home.
Even when you're psychotic.
Yes.
You can be treated at home.
You can be treated at home.
Can you come
as
out
long
of
as
medication?
you have as long as you have somebody that is taking care of you, ensuring that you're taking your medication, ensuring that you are, you know, eating well and sleeping well.
Right.
But if you do not have someone that can take care of you, then it helps to be, you know, it's a safe space.
Right.
In a safe space.
Is it possible to come out of
It is very possible to come out of it because with time, you will be able to feel better and the doctor will reduce the medication and eventually set you free.
So you can actually come out of medication completely.
Yeah, completely.
And be okay.
And be okay.
Okay.
However, there are certain situations where you will have drugs for the rest of your life. And you will be supported with the medication and with psychotherapy. All right? So it's just a question of understanding, what are you going through? All right? Is it about a more serious psychological disorder, depending on the diagnosis of the doctor? And so when that does happen, are you having schizophrenia, for example? And that's really quite serious.
And it's become very, very common.
Yeah, so, the more mental health is untreated, the more serious it gets. And so when you get to that level, it's unfortunately, but the reality is that you need to be on medication. Even as I say that, I'm reminded of a young couple who had those challenges, and the wife had been diagnosed and treated. But then she decided she's not going to take her medication anymore. And just one fine day, she just decides that her husband is the cause of her problems. And while he's sleeping, she goes to the kitchen and takes 2 kitchen knives and comes onto the man. And, it was very unfortunate because he lost, for some reason, he was able to wake up and just see this, and they fought. And so when he caught the knives, he lost the functions of his hands. So what am I saying? If you're living with somebody struggling with mental health, I mean, you've got to know that this is serious.
It can actually turn against you.
Yes, and that person can kill you. All right? So it's not just about coping. It's not just about knowing that it's, when they're angry, they can be really angry. You really have to
get help.
To get help. And to ensure that they are following doctor's orders. And to go to see the psychiatrist and the psychologist in a timely manner. The more you ignore,
the worse it gets.
The worse it gets.
And it can actually now work again, because I know somebody who actually went to that level, and the wife never even knew that he was depressed.
Yes.
And he ended up killing, he was about to kill her, left her for the dead.
Yes.
And also went to kill the children.
I'll tell you for free, she was in denial for the longest time. I mean, once you're with someone that is depressed, you know something is wrong.
Right.
If you
not
don't,
their normal self.
Yes, if you don't do something about it, then you're calling danger upon yourself. So be selfish and say, I don't care about them, but I want to take care of me. Because if you're living and sleeping in the same environment,
you don't know that he'll wake up, or she will wake up and cut you to pieces.
Exactly.
So you need to wake up.
Yes.
Smell the coffee.
Yes.
And take a sip of reality.
Oh, yes.
And see if this person has a problem, they need help.
Yes.
And it's you to help them. And at the end of the day, don't you think that that's actually the best thing to do for someone you love? To help them?
Yes, of course. It's important to help them. However, there's usually a lot of anger, frustration, and bitterness because you are looking at the behavior and not the illness.
Jennie, I think that's very, very, very important. And I believe that is actually something that we need to really, really understand. Every viewer, listen.
Yes.
That you're looking at the person and not the problem. That you're looking at the behavior and you're refusing to go deeper to see that this person is actually very ill and they need quick attention. And so one of the things that you need to do is you've got to unmute. We are afraid to speak and tell. Parents need to be in the know because if there is a danger here, if somebody loses their life, or you are ending up in a mental institution, I think as a mother, I had the right to know what's going on with my child. I will help you because I will tell you, actually it didn't begin now. Even when they were young, they attempted suicide 3 times and in their teenage. In their young adulthood, they actually attempted suicide once. So you will begin to understand that this is a journey and we really need to work on it. Yes, I want to say this again. Mental illness is not merely the absence of disease, all right? It is actually being fully aware of the holistic wellness of
an individual.
Right.
Physical,
Yeah.
mental, psychological, spiritual. And when you look at it, socially,
yeah.
when you look at it holistically, then you will not feel that stigma.
Because you'll be able to see
Nothing wrong.
there's nothing wrong with that.
It's only an element.
How do we bring it to society now?
By
To be able to accept the fact that, hey, like the other day, Jennie, somebody, person just removed all his clothes in the city center.
Oh, that was so sad.
It's very, very sad, very sad.
That was sad.
But you see, what did Kenyans do? They were even laughing and
Videoing.
and video. And what if that was your dad? Or your brother?
Yeah.
Or your uncle?
Yes.
Your friend? How would you feel? Recording and just laughing, almost rolling on the
Sharing,
floor.
viral.
And that's why people are very scared to even mention that they have it.
Well, the truth of the matter is, even if you're scared to mention it, it's going to show up. So do yourself a favor. When you still can, speak about it. And I commend you for taking this opportunity to bring awareness about mental health awareness, because that's where it begins.
Yes,
as a society, I think we don't do enough. We need to talk about it.
Do we have enough doctors? Do we have enough therapists?
No, we don't. We don't have enough doctors. We don't have enough mental health centers. We
Do we have enough psychologists?
We don't have enough psychologists. We don't have enough psychiatrists. We don't have enough. But the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of awareness, and there are many people that are coming up, and that will be addressed, and it's being addressed. And even last year, the president put together a task force to be able to come together and to find strategies in which mental health can be addressed holistically so that it can support the citizens of Kenya.
Right.
At a global level, you know, there are other countries that are very advanced in terms of mental health.
Yeah.
And actually what they did is they sponsored a lot of people to do psychiatry and psychiatric nursing so that their citizens are supported. So there is a lot of room for growth.
Yeah.
But as individuals, we need to be very, very aware as to how we can support those that are around us.
Yeah, and be able to and I believe that's why God has really put it very strongly in me to minister and to talk about this.
Yes.
So that we can be able to, like, wake people up.
Yes, awareness is the heartbeat of therapy.
Exactly.
So the more you get people aware, the more they get opportunities to hear, to learn, and to participate. I mean, you can have, you know, a whole week of mental awareness, mental health awareness at the church.
Right.
You can go beyond that and say, we want to train mental health first aiders and champions at the church.
Yeah.
And because you have a large congregation.
Right.
So these are people who will begin to understand what do we need to look out for.
And how can we help?
And how can we help?
Yeah.
And how can we refer to the appropriate people so that they can be supported. Professionally. But in the meantime, how do we give first aid?
Right.
Yes, that's
yes, Jennie, that's powerful. I think what I really, really love is that the fact that if you are aware, then you can be able to see somebody who's going off, that maybe somebody you love, maybe you work with them, they're just a colleague in the office, maybe it's a sister, a mother, a father. You don't need to wait for them to go all the way. Because what happens, unfortunately, right now, is that when you see somebody going a little off, it becomes a laughing matter.
Yes.
It becomes something that you need to call people to share. That, hey, this one ametupa mbao. You know, and we even call it kutupa mbao. Like, you know, it's a funny, it's supposed to be a funny story. But it could be you.
Yeah, they need to be directed to a particular person who will then have the right conversation and provide opportunities for them to be supported.
So, Jennie, what kind of questions do you ask somebody to be able to, for them to know that they actually are going through that or they have it?
All right. One, the very fact that you have noticed there's something that's not right, all you need to do is apply empathy and compassion and say to this person, I notice you've not been yourself of late. Would you like to talk about it? When people feel cared for, valued, and that you have stopped to ask them, are you okay? Many times what they will do, they will sit there, look at you, and start crying, even before they say anything. They will be so touched.
They can't believe
that you have actually
that you
noticed
care. Yeah.
that something is not right. And they will tell you what's wrong. All right? Usually, it's going to be about a job. It's going to be about a person that's let them down. It's going to be about something that's causing them a level of pain. All right? The very fact that you have listened, they are one step ahead. All right?
So that's very good for them.
Very good for them.
So it's important.
They have
you
what
as a
we call
person,
debrief.
Yeah, be there. So in other words, what we're saying is be there for somebody.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Be there.
Care.
Don't
Care enough to notice.
Care enough to notice and to listen. Give them attentive listening. Watch their nonverbals. Even if they say nothing, their nonverbals will speak to you directly. All right? Yeah, they will say, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And you will address that.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
You're okay. But I notice that you're not.
Yeah.
All right?
You can talk to
You
them. Make yourself.
Make yourself, available for them. And then finally, what you then need to do is acknowledge you're not an expert and direct them to someone within the institution or externally so that they can be able to receive the support that they need.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very important.
Would you like to talk to someone? Confidentiality is important. And mainly, I don't want to tell you what I'm going through, Pastor Kathy. I mean, you might just get me out of church. Huh?
Yeah. If I told you.
Yes.
Right.
So what you do is just refer them and allow them to be in a confidential space where they can be able to explore what it is that they are going through. Yeah.
Okay.
Today, a lot more people are struggling with a lot of stress, anxiety, and situational depression.
And is it true that now WHO have considered stress as a situation?
Well, yeah. I mean, it is said that basically for Kenya, 4 out of every 10 Kenyans will struggle with mental health in their lifetime.
4 out of 10
will struggle
Jennie,
with mental health
big.
in their lifetime.
That's big.
So we are all, predisposed.
That's big.
It depends on what we are going through,
Right.
the season, the environment, and, the capacities, our level of tolerance and resilience. This is one season where we have to be very resilient when it comes to mental health.
Wake up.
Yes.
Be resilient.
Yes.
Know that you're in a situation that needs to be fought.
Yes.
You need to fight for your sanity.
Yes.
Fight so that you can be able to refuse to go into that deep corner.
Yes.
I remember somebody who had just come out of depression, and it was that, what did you call it? Seasonal depression.
Situational or seasonal.
Situational, seasonal. And they had just come out of it.
Yes.
And every time they see somebody going into it, they say, oh God, please call them out. Call them out before they get in.
Yeah.
Because she was in such a dark corner that she never even thought she would be able to come out. So be aware.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Be aware. Have self-care.
Yeah.
And by all means, seek professional support.
So you say there's cure, there's help.
Yes.
Nobody needs to feel sorry and feel like they are dying, like it's over for them.
You may feel that. You will feel that. However, staying there is the problem.
Don't stay there.
Don't stay there.
Get up.
It's okay. Feel it. Feel the pain. But don't stay there. Yes. Know that it's time to move. Yes.
Wow. So Jennie, you say 4 out of 10, that's a big figure. Can it be changed?
Absolutely. Awareness is the heartbeat of therapy. So basically what happens as we continue to educate the citizens, as we continue to educate in the community, we begin to be more and more aware. So one of the things that helps in terms of awareness, it's not just for the people that are struggling, it's also for those that are not struggling, so that they are not the stumbling block in terms of stigma, all right? And so that they are able to support. Secondly, the more the population is struggling, the government is arising and making a difference in providing support in terms of psychiatric support, psychosocial support.
Right.
You know, we used to have a lot of, you know, social events and community halls and community spaces.
Yeah, and grounds
to play.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of the best things to do if you are struggling. Just go to Karura for a walk. Nature, environment does it.
Wow.
Just get out, walk in greenery, it helps. And so the more we have spaces that people can get out of these four walls and be able to see nature and environment and be able to play and enjoy life, that makes a whole lot of difference.
Right.
We need to be very aware that the spaces that we are in contribute to our wellness, all right? And so how is occupational wellness? You are on your screen 24/7. That causes mental dysfunction. You need to know when to shut down
and come out.
Go play.
Go run.
Yes.
Go breathe.
Everything. Go socialize. All right? So when you do that, it works. So the more we continue educating the people around us, the more mental health is not going to be a stigma, and it will be embraced as something that we struggle with just as other ailments.
And we can change those statistics.
Yes, and they can be a thing of the past.
Right.
All right? But we need to recognize that, you know, genetic predisposition is one of the areas we need to be alive to. Have I come from a family where they have struggled? And so you've got to be proactive.
Right.
Don't wait for it to catch you. Am I coming from a family where we are diabetic? Lifestyle, you know, is important. So just be proactive. Yes, be proactive in this.
Do I come from a violent family?
Yes.
Is my family prone to mental illness?
Yes.
Have I come from such a family?
Alcoholism, drug abuse.
Alcoholism and drug abuse.
Yes, be alert. Yes, be very alert. And as you are, of course, as you are alert, you know, you work towards holistic life, holistic living. And so mainly what happens is that the more you are aware of what risks are around you, the more you mitigate the risks. And when you do that, I think mental health is not just about a government. It's not about a community. It begins with me.
You as a person.
Me as a person.
Yeah.
And when I embrace mental wellness, then it should be around my home. It should be around my community. And so each one of us needs to have that baton and pass it on.
Yeah.
Tell what you know. You've been listening here. Share the information that you have learned.
Come on.
It's not just about you. It's about passing it on to others.
Yes.
And when we do that, then we get better.
Better results, because then we can be able to come out of it. So we can listen, we can change the statistics.
Yes.
They can come from 4, go to 2, and go to 0.
Yes.
Based on how we react and how we take it, how we know. Because knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
Once you know and you're aware, then you can be able to detect and see this thing from a distance.
Yes.
And say, the way I'm behaving nowadays, I'm not liking. Like I'm sad.
Yes.
I'm not even going out to meet my friends. I'm not playing golf.
Yes.
I'm not playing golf anymore. Like we are not meeting up for what's going on.
What's going on?
And then also check out on one another. If you haven't seen your friend for a while, go there. Go find out why haven't you been coming? Why are you just there alone? That's going to help us to come out of these mental health issues. Because listen, we must socialize. We are social beings. We must love each other. We must play. You know, Jennie, the other day, I called, we got together with some bishops, some, apostles, powerful men and women of God. When they came, I was the one running the show.
Okay.
I was the one holding the party.
Okay.
The minute they came, guess what? I had called somebody to, those icebreakers, those ones that you do some powerful events and all that. I had called one of them to come and ice break completely and make us really enjoy this day. And you know what I did? I told them, remove every mask of every title. Remove every title. Remove it. Put the title aside. Put it aside. Looking at me like this. Remove even your coat. I said, I'm in charge.
Yes.
You gave me charge. You're here now.
Yeah.
I'm the one in control now. Remove the coats. Remove what they put them aside. If you have high shoes as a woman, please put them aside. Remove them. Guess. After playing, having fun, it was the most amazing thing you have ever seen in life. We enjoyed. We were like little children.
Oh, yes.
And this is what they say, that even those little children games, they get you out of stress.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, they say that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yes.
And maybe Jill a dull girl.
Right.
And so I will say to you, play.
Yes.
I mean, life is good. What are you doing just getting stuck up every day there with all that seriousness?
Yeah.
There's the place for the boardroom, and there's the place to play.
Right.
There's the place for the pulpit, and there's the place to play. There's the time to be the bishop, and the time to say, come and get me.
Woman without limits.
Yes.
Let's play.
Let's play.
Yeah.
And so, all of us don't have the same personality. I think I'm more of a very serious person, not like you who's a sanguine. So what I do, I always like to connect with people that love to play so that I can have some fun.
You can come out of your cocoon.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
So let's play, girls.
Yeah.
Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Let's do what we need to do so that we can get that oxytocin hormone. That's what you get when you play.
When you play.
If you can't find somebody to play with, put on a humor movie. I mean, just put on humor, not the adventure. Humor. And laugh.
Laugh your
laugh.
way out of stress.
Yes.
Yeah.
So once you laugh, what happens is that all those good hormones fill your body,
endorphins.
the dopamines, endorphins, oxytocins, and you will be able to just be happy.
Yeah.
People love being around happy people.
It's true.
You have positive energy.
Yes.
Anabolic energy.
Yes.
Fueling energy.
Yes.
Who has time for catabolic energy? I don't have time for that. So I just want you to radiate some joy so that we can laugh.
Yeah.
And let's have a party.
And we all need each other.
We need each other.
So I need you.
Yes.
To let me know, hey, you actually really encourage me to go back to school.
Yes, so you tell me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see the way you say, I encouraged you to do life, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. But you encourage me also to go back to school. Like, it's so good. And now I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying.
I'm glad you're enjoying.
Good.
Congratulations in advance.
I'm graduating.
I know you will excel with flying colors.
Amen, amen. And so it's exciting. So we need each other.
Absolutely.
You need the sanguines, you need the cholerics, the melancholies. You need all of them.
Yes.
So we all need each other.
Absolutely.
But let's get each other out of this cocoon so that we are not walking in depression when we really don't even need to.
I know.
We need to help one another to be able to come out of mental situations.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yes, Jennie.
You know, we lose it at some point. I think for me, when I got to my 50s, I lost it. I mean, what more do I need now? I can sleep all I want. I can just be grandmother. You know, I got so many grandchildren.
Yes.
Been there, done that. I don't need golf even. Maybe occasionally when you want to play.
Yeah.
And I never forget that you pulled me out of my pit when you know, every Monday I'd say, no, I'm not playing,
Yeah.
okay. And then when you came over, I said to you, you know, at the end of the day, me, I've retired.
I've retired.
I don't want anything.
You know, I remember that like yesterday.
Yeah.
I retired. I don't want
Yeah.
anything. And you were at that time 54.
I know.
And
It's
you
10
said
years
to me,
actually now.
Can you, Jennie, you make 60s look so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Like you're so beautiful. You know? There's no ounce
You
of
love
age,
me, so you have to see your every beauty.
No, but honestly, you make 60s look absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
And so at 54, you said to me, you know what, me, I'm done. I've retired. And I had just come from a meeting of a 74-year-old woman.
Yes.
And I remember we were at Windsor, and we even stopped. I said, Jennie, wait. You have what?
Retired.
Said, retired. I'm just going to play golf and, I'm just, forget this.
Play with my grandchildren. I'm done.
I said, Jennie, with what you carry, you have what? And then I sent you. I said, go and see this lady. She's called Barbara Young. She was 74 at that time, 10 years ago. So she's 84.
Yes.
And I say to you, go and watch her. Come back and tell me what you're saying right
Barbara
now. Come and tell
Young.
me.
She was dancing like a teenager at 74.
With high shoes like
With
this.
high shoes around. And I looked at her stage performance and her presentation skills. I said, my God, I'm a teenager. If she can do this, I'm refiring.
Yeah.
Watch this space. Thank you for giving me a new lease of life. And so I'm sizzling in my 60s.
Yes. Can you imagine?
I feel the other way around. 46.
You came and you told me what? You told me I'm not retiring. I'm refiring.
Absolutely.
And boy, did you refire.
Big time.
My good. You were on every TV channel. You went on every radio station. You went wild.
Absolutely.
You went completely wild.
Yes.
So this is what we are saying.
And the best is yet to come.
I mean, you were just elected chairman of Kenya Re the other day. So you are really...
I'm on a race. I want to have an impact. I want to have an influence. I want to have significance. I want to leave a legacy of leadership. That's what life is all about.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
So you're telling a young girl, stop it.
Stop it.
Wake up.
Yes. Live purposefully.
Yes.
Love passionately what you do and who you engage with. Thrive, girl. Thrive unapologetically because you deserve it.
Yeah.
And that's the attitude I adapted.
Can you imagine?
Or else.
And in those 10 years, you told me you have done more than you did the
ever in my
previous
life,
years.
Ever in my life.
So here is what we are telling you. Come out of that cocoon. You can be healed of that mental issue, and you can come out and become all that God created you to become. You don't have to die in that quagmire. You don't have to feel sorry for yourself. You don't have to throw in the towel. You don't have to give up. Hear me today. You do not have to give up. There is a God in heaven, and I want you to know that He is the greatest healer. Jesus, the Bible says, by Jesus' stripes, we were healed. And so even that mental illness, He is able to heal. And how? By just following the principles of God. And if you need to see a therapist, this is the time. Go see a therapist. Come out of feeling sorry for yourself and feeling sad. You know, there is joy out there. The Bible says the joy of the Lord is our strength. And so you cannot be strong if you're not walking in joy. The joy of the Lord is what makes you strong. So come out of that quagmire. Come out of feeling sorry for yourself. It's a new day in the name of Jesus Christ. This is Woman Without Limits.